Welcome, everybody, to the Coach and Bro Show. It is Thursday, April 10th. I am Vince Russo, and you are not. And guess what? As the great Gomer Pyle would say, surprise, surprise, surprise. No coach this week. However, I did some investigative research because word on the street was that Coach has lost his voice. And I did some research. I dug deep. I have found out how Coach has lost his voice. And I am going to share that with my partner, Mr. Dependable. Some people call him Tommy Carlucci. Some people call him Tony Carlucci.
Tony.
It doesn't matter. Mr. Carlucci. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, Vinny Roo? Thank you for having me here today. And boy, I'm really interested to find out how Coach lost his so-called voice.
I found out because word on the street is Coach lost his voice. So I did some digging. I did some research. Do you know what Coach was doing all day yesterday that made him lose his voice, Coach?
No, I don't.
Four! Coach, you do that for 18 holes, Coach? You ain't going to have a voice either. Bro, listen, let me address Coach. Bro, you ain't fooling nobody, okay? You got me and Tommy, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Dependable here. You are on the golf course yelling, four! And Tommy, he wants us to have sympathy? Sympathy for the coach, Tommy?
Not when you're yelling four and you're in beautiful Orlando and I'm in cold Connecticut here. No friggin' way.
Unbelievable. No way. And unfortunately, Tommy, listen, if this show were up to me, but yeah, this is the Coaches Network. So listen, we're just whipping boys that listen to the coach because Tommy, if this were up to me, this show today would be a preview of the Giants and the Yankees over the weekend, quite frankly. That's what you and I would be talking about, Mr. Torpedo. Oh, I love that, man. Where'd you get that, Tommy?
I got it. I saw it online. It says Bronx Torpedo Bats, and it's got the name of the guys who wear it.
I love that. Oh,
it's cool, isn't it?
I love that. I love that T-shirt. Big Giants Yankees series this weekend in the Bronx. But Tommy, unfortunately, we have to talk about wrestling, Tommy. And if you guys want to talk wrestling with us, you can do it as well, man, through a super sticker or donation. You can become part of this conversation. We will throw you right up on the screen, and we will include you in our conversation. You could do that through a super sticker or a donation. Mr. Producer Man, what are we opening up with this week? Oh, yeah, the stars are teased ahead of WrestleMania. We found out that as we are in the go home to WrestleMania, I believe we have 2 SmackDowns left and 1 Raw. And now, Tommy, we are finding out that who's going to be on SmackDown this week? Cena's going to be on SmackDown next week or this week? Or what?
I'm going to go home. Okay.
So John Cena will be on the SmackDown Go Home show next Friday, and Roman Reigns is scheduled to appear on the show Monday Raw, which is the last Raw before WrestleMania. I don't know. Tommy, I'm just going to throw this at you, man. Is it too little too late, Tommy? I feel like so much interest has been lost since the Cena turn that came out of nowhere at Elimination Chamber. Man, bro, I feel like the 6 weeks following, they have just lost so many people with this angle.
It's called drop the ball, Vince, right? I mean, they did nothing for a couple of weeks. So even though they went internationally, for 2 weeks in a row, he blamed the crowd, and then they did the big thing where they both went at it and got personal with each other, which were good promos by both superstars, by the way. But it just has gone nowhere. And, of course, he has to show up. he has to show up on the go home of SmackDown. How could he not show up? It's going to be in Vegas, right? I would hope he will be there already because where he's coming from, wherever he's shooting his movie. But what are we going to talk about? Are they going to go face to face again? I would love to see the final boss there and just change it up just a little bit and see what he's going to be doing. Or is he going to be involved at all? Or is he going to be at WrestleMania? He has to be at WrestleMania, right? There's no way. He's the one that started this whole thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. And with Roman, what is he going to say? What else are we going to talk about? They're making a big deal out of Heyman going from Roman Reigns to CM Punk. Do you care, Vince?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing, Tommy. Like this three-way is about Paul Heyman. I could give a crap whose side Heyman is on. I could give a crap if Heyman even shows up. But to make the angle around whose corner Paul is going to be in, Tommy, I don't know how they expect me to care about that. What? Just give me a why I should care about that.
It's not like he's going to get involved in the match, right? He never has, never will. What is he going to do? Okay, so he walks in the ring with Punk. Okay, end of story. End of story right there. Okay, he's done it. And Roman is still really upset. Is that how he's going to show up on SmackDown saying he's really upset? It just makes no sense at all. I don't know where this triple threat is going, but man, to make it the main event, wow, it's a big wow for me, man.
Yeah, a lot of this is a big wow for me. But Tommy, I have to tell you, man, I saw this coming. And here's why, Tommy. Tommy, I wrote these shows. I know what it takes to write these shows. And Tommy, the more masters they serve and the more content and the more programming, this product gets more watered down by the week. I just read a big article yesterday about the Netflix numbers. Bro, they suck. The numbers on Netflix absolutely suck. They started at 5.9 million people worldwide. Now, Tommy, keep in mind, that 5.9 million people worldwide is throughout the week. It's not like watching it live on Monday. This is over 7 days. And Tommy, they've managed to take that 5.9 million worldwide over 7 days. They've managed to get it down to about 2.8 million, which is less than half of where they started. And my point is, bro, they've got so many shows. They are serving so many masters. They don't have time to come up with good television. They just got to put words on the page. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing, Tommy. We are seeing, this is supposed to be the best wrestling company in the world. And we are seeing mediocre shows at best, Tommy.
That's worldwide, Coach. I'm sorry, Vince. Worldwide on Netflix.
Wait, hold on, Tommy. Say that again. Say that again. This is worldwide. What you call me?
I called you Coach.
4! All right, go ahead, Tommy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's unheard of. Worldwide with Netflix, where you cover 85% of the world, you're getting 2 million people, and you have all these people that live here in the United States. It's just terrible. You know what it's called, Vince? It's called wringing out everything you can.
Greed, Tommy. Greed. Yes.
That's what you're calling it right there. And that's why the product is watered down. They got stuff on A&E. They got this going on. They got that going on. Just too many and not settling down on the shows like you used to write every week that made sense, that led to something, right? This leads to nothing. Heyman switching over to Punk. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's the point. Who cares?
Yeah, Tommy, bro, this started when Raw went to 3 hours. That's when this whole thing started. The minute Raw went to 3 hours, they knowingly bastardized the product. Knowingly, because that 3-hour show, Tommy, became this. Everything stretched out. Tommy, do you know on SmackDown this last week, because I kept notes, I think it was something like, hold on, Tommy. I don't want to be wrong because I kept notes. Tommy, I think it was 13 minutes into the show before the first word was ever spoken. Tommy, we're 25 minutes into the show, and here's what they achieved in the first 25 minutes. CM Punk tells Paul Heyman, tell me when your boy shows up. The first 25 minutes of the show, that's what they accomplished. And bro, they bastardized the product with more and more and more hours of programming. But like you said, Tommy, they don't care. It's greed. You want to pay us, bro? We'll give you content. We don't care how many masters we got to please.
It's just unbelievable. And do you think the Netflix guys are looking at this and saying, wow, I thought the number would be a lot higher than what it is, right?
Tommy,
Did we get sold a bill of goods here?
Tommy, I said this I said this a couple of weeks ago. This is Fox all over again. What happened to Fox? What happened to the deal on Fox? They were sold a bill of goods. They did a great first number, and from there it went downhill. And what did Fox do? See ya.
Thanks for coming.
Because, Tommy, you and I know. Tommy, you know, when you have these kind of contracts, bro, I don't care if they're 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. Tommy, you know there are 100 loopholes in these contracts for a company to pull out if they want to pull out. You and I both know that, Tommy.
Well, there has to be, because they're paying them $500 million a year for that show. Think of that, Vince. $500 million a year for that. Incredible. It's just incredible.
It's incredible, Tommy. Well, listen, let's look at the we'll get to Awesome Sauce real quick. Let's just go to the next topic, Tommy. Rhodes and WWE stars sell out Fanatic Fest. Tommy, listen, are you and I the idiots? We're here talking about greed, but no matter what they charge these fans, they're going to pay, Tommy. They're going to pay. Yeah. Tommy, hey, listen, man. Tommy, as much as you'd like to go to the Giant Yankees series this weekend, are you going to pay $5,000 for a ticket, Tommy? You're going to pay $5,000?
No way.
They're paying. Look who sold out. Wow. Charlotte Flair sold out. Well, Chelsea Green, I would pay to see Chelsea Green. Kevin Owens selling out. Liv Morgan selling out. Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Tiffy, and I guess that's Fatu. Tommy, they're paying the money. So who are the idiots? Tommy, who are the idiots?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I heard Cody was the first one that sold out over everybody at this Fanatics thing. It's that big fest where there's MLB players, NFL players, basketball players. He's the only athlete that sold out first. That's just incredible. It is just incredible. God.
Tommy, I am a Batman 66 mark. Absolute mark. Batman 66. Yeah. Adam West, Burt Ward, the whole 9 yards. So, Tommy, my daughter bought me tickets for this Comic-Con in Denver. Okay? So, Tommy, I already got Adam West and Burt Ward to sign something for me like years earlier. Okay? So, now I go to this Denver Comic-Con, and who is there, Tommy? Julie Newmar. Oh, Tommy, do that again. Tommy, do that one more time for me. Okay, Tommy. Julie Newmar. So I'm like, bro, I got to get Julie Newmar's autograph. So, Tommy, as I approach the table, I see the price tag for Miss Newmar's autograph, Tommy. Guess how much it was?
$200.
Tommy, it was $100, and I said, "Are you nuts? I ain't paying no. These people are paying $5,000, $1,000, $2,500 for freaking meet and greets, bro."
Wow, it's incredible, isn't it? It's just incredible. Julie Newmar, what a major star back in the day. By the way, who was your favorite villain?
My favorite villain, without a shadow of a doubt. And believe it or not, Tommy, I got an autographed picture of him, believe it or not, the late, great Vincent Price's Egghead.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know who mine was? The Joker.
The Joker, Cesar Romero.
Yeah, great actor, by the way. That dude.
Yeah. Tommy, hey, Tommy, if you want to talk about Batman 66 for the rest of this show, I will be more than happy to, Tommy.
Dude, I have the whole thing on my direct TV. Every season I have.
Yeah.
And I'm showing it to my granddaughter now, and she friggin' loves it.
It's great. That was
so over the top. It was so good.
It was so good. But unfortunately, we got to get to back to wrestling. Producer man, there was, I think Awesome Sauce had a comment. Here we go. Vince, much like Lyra Velcro and Bailey match, seeing you say bro gives me I don't know if you caught this, Tommy. I almost vomited all over my desk. After the match with Lyra Velcro and Bailey, Michael Cole said, and I quote, are you ready, Tommy?
Go ahead.
That match gave me chills. Bro, Michael Cole, if you're getting chills over that match, bro, I would go see a doctor immediately, bro. I would go to the emergency ward and I would say, hey, listen, man, I got chills after Bailey and Viral Velcro. Please check me out. Tommy, how does Michael Cole sit there and say that with a straight face, man? Seriously.
Man. Chills from that match?
Chills, Tommy, chills. He got chills. The man got chills, Tommy.
You know what gave me chills? WrestleMania 13, Brett and Steve Austin. That match gave me friggin' thrilled.
You know what gave me chills, Tommy? You know what gave me chills? The first time I saw Julie Newmar and I was 5 years old. And all of a sudden, Tommy, something was happening in my pants. And I'm like, wait a minute. What is this? Ma! Tommy, that gave me chills, Tommy. Can you imagine? How does that guy sit there and say that with a straight face?
Oh man, that's Rib City. I don't know if they're ribbing him to say that or what, but that's just incredible.
Tommy, I gotta say this, and listen, man, you worked with them much longer than I did, but I was there when Michael Cole came in. So please, everybody, understand. I don't dislike Michael Cole. As a matter of fact, me and Michael Cole got along fine when we worked together. But Tommy, I have said this week after week. These guys always used to cry and complain and carry on because Vince was in their headsets. Michael Cole proves week after week after week how badly he needs Vince McMahon in his headsets. I'm sorry, man. I am sorry, but you're going to sit there with a straight face and say that this match gave you chills and you don't expect us at home to be laughing?
It's just crazy. I don't even know why he would say that. And he's really gotten into his own personality. And I think that's what Triple H wants out of these guys.
Yeah.
So he's got a little outrageous with stuff. He's always low key, and to Vince, his whole theory was announcers are just there just to call the match, or he didn't care about the personality of these guys or anything. You just do what you got to do, get the story over. That's all he was all about, is telling the story in the ring so people know what's going on with the product, right? It's a little different now. It's a little inmates running the asylum with McAfee there going off a little bit. They had that comedian there on Monday night who was just abusing Michael Cole. By the way, he wasn't even funny. This guy Tony, whatever he is, and I've seen him before. He's funny, but he wasn't funny talking about his ears. I think Michael got a little pissed off too, man.
Yeah. Guys, again, if you want to be part of this conversation like Awesome Sauce, you do it through a super sticker or donation. We'll talk about whatever you like. Guys, if you disagree with us, feel free to speak your word. You got to understand, this is the opinion, bro. This is just the opinion of Tony and Vince. That's it, Tony and Vince. This is just our opinion. Okay, I'm going to read you a quote, Tommy, from Tiffy Time, and I am a fan of Tiffy Time. I think Tiffy reeks star. I think Tiffy has a load of potential. I like Tiffy very much, but we know, Tommy, everybody is talking about this heat between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I think it is clear to anybody watching this, they don't like each other. I think that's obviously clear. But here's what Tiffany Stratton had to say in a recent interview. I think being so new into this business, being so new as champion, I don't think she really expected me to stand up to her. And I don't think she expected me to, I guess, almost clap back. And I think I kind of, look, all I have to say is it's live TV, stakes are high. We're going into WrestleMania. I have the title. I want to keep the title. I'm going to pull out every stop that I can. People want to see our match, and I think that we did a very good job of getting people wanting to see our match and invested in our story. And now I'm ready to put on the best women's match ever, and I'm ready to go to war. I got to tell you, when Tiffy says they're invested in our story, Tommy, did I miss the story? What is the story between these two?
I have no idea. That was the first thing I said when I read that article. What are they invested in? They just threw shots at each other, right? One went below the belt, the other one tried to get below the belt on the way out. So I don't know what the investment is, but I hope something pays off maybe this week on SmackDown with something just a little different. I'm sure Triple H has talked to them, like, we got to do business. And I think that's when you read the end of it where she says she wants to put on the best match possible. I think that's working in accordance with Charlotte, because if she doesn't work with Charlotte and Charlotte don't work with her, it's going to be a complete friggin' disaster. And I'm a big fan of Tiffany, man. I like her. She can cut a promo. She's athletic as hell in the
Yeah.
ring, and she looks great, by the
Yeah.
way.
I am a fan of both of these two, but man, I got to tell you, every time, like, these comments about Tiffany, here's where we're getting way off the rails, because when she's talking about our match, people want to see our match and are invested in our story. She's talking about the wrestling marks. She's talking about the wrestling marks that are going online every single day to see what's going on backstage between Charlotte and Tiffany and why they really don't like each other. And she dropped the bomb about Charlotte being married 3 times. And then there was an exchange about Tiffy's boyfriend, Ludwig Kaiser. Bro, Tommy, I swear to God, they have lost sight of the rest of the world. All the casual fans, Tommy, that's where the money is. I swear, Tommy, day one when I started on the job, here's what I knew. We already have the marks. They ain't going nowhere, bro. As long as wrestling is on the marquee, Tommy, they're watching the show every single week. Are they going to bitch and kvetch about it after the show? Absolutely. And guess what? They're going to be watching the next week. You've got them. They're built in. That's the 2.8 million that are watching Netflix now. The key and the trick is, how do we get the rest of the world? How do we get those people on the fence? How do we get those people who think it's not cool to be wrestling fans? How do we get the casual television viewers? That's the key. Everything they do and everything they say, Tommy, they're addressing an audience they already have, Tommy.
You're right. And listen to this, Vince, right? When you started writing there, one of the biggest storylines ever, Marks loved it, but the casual fan loved it because they could relate to it. The whole Mr. McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin storyline. I hate my boss. I want to kick his ass. Everybody thinks like that.
Yep.
You caught him, and it was a storyline, one of the greatest storylines ever. We don't get stuff like that anymore. We
No.
don't get any storylines at all. We have a triple threat with 3 big superstars, and it's all about Heyman. That's not a story, guys. To me, that's not a story. This Tiffany and Charlotte, all it is hitting below the belt. Oh my God, she's been married 3 times. She's alone. Oh, Kaiser's in my DMs. Oh my God. Who cares? Do I care Charlotte's been married 3 times? No,
No.
I don't. I don't care. I don't care.
And again, Tommy, that's everything you're talking about right there. The casual viewer does not give a shit. Absolutely. You think the casual viewer cares about whose corner Paul Heyman is in?
Right. No, not at all. It's all riveting storylines with Taker and Kane being brothers and telling a story that with Paul Bearer. We told stories like that would bring the casual fan in and say, wow, I'm interested in that. We don't get that anymore, Vince. Not at
No.
all.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not even close to it.
No, not even close. Whatever. Tommy, explain this to me. You were a little bit more on top of this than I was because I wasn't quite sure what they're doing. I do know this, bro. Let's be honest. Whatever they're doing, Tommy, we know it's a money grab. Anything they do is a money grab. So, Tommy, what is going on with this WWE ID championship now?
We talked about this on the last word, and we got a pretty good chuckle out of it.
Hold on. Who's on the last word with you?
4.
All right, go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
And the whole thing, you know what? I hate when people think stuff is a shoe. It's an ID program where other independent wrestling federations are in, and you get to be in this tournament and you get picked. And then the bottom line is you get a NXT contract, right? So if you work hard, oh my God, you know what, fellas? You know who's picking those two guys or a guy and a woman? Triple H. Triple H is picking it.
Oh, wait, hold on, Tommy. Hold on, because talk about doubling down. Aren't they doing the same thing on the Legends and Future Star? Isn't that the same exact concept?
Yeah, just about.
So they're basically doing the same thing now on two different shows.
Well, the only difference is that it's other small promotions getting involved with this. So I don't know who picks that or how that goes, but again, it is controlled.
And when does WWE ID? When does the WWE ID Championship? When do they get their own show, Tommy? When does that show start, Tommy?
Probably right after LFG.
You know that's a show. I swear to God, you know they're doing this now, and they're gonna sell the next go round to a freaking network who's waiting in line to get in bed with the WWE because they think they're gonna see Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Yeah, they're not seeing that.
Oh, Tommy. All right, guys, if you want to be a part of this conversation, man, do this through a donation or a super sticker. We love to involve you. Last but not least, man, Tommy, the WWE Hall of Fame should have started with this guy. You want to talk about a joke? The great Jim Johnston. Let me tell you something right now. Without Jim Johnston, there is no Attitude Era. Zero. None. Jim Johnston was the soundtrack to the Attitude Era. The greatest theme songs in the history of wrestling. Bro, that first note played, you knew who it was. You played The Undertaker's gong, you knew who it was. The glass broke, you knew who it was. You played that first beat to Sexy Boy, you knew who it was. That was the genius of the great Jim John. How this dude is not in the... Forget about how he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. How did they get rid of him, Tommy? I had Jim Johnston on my show a couple years ago, Tommy, and he said Triple H, was the one that made the decision because they wanted to go in another direction. Bro, that's like telling Beethoven, we're going to go in another direction, Beethoven. We don't need your services anymore. Tell everybody how great Jim Johnston was.
Dude, I know Jim Johnston 20 years. He worked in the TV studio. I watched him work. The guy is a friggin' genius. And by the way, he plays when I say every, he plays every instrument. And the way he mixes it in his studio, when a new character would come out, he would need a rundown of what this character was, what kind of person it was, where are we going with him, how's it going to work. So he actually wrote for the character, just like he did for Taker. You hear the bong. You hear the music from Brock Lesnar, the Beast. That's the Beast coming out. You hear the glass crack. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. You hear DX. Are you ready? Boom, getting right into
What about Kane with the organ, bro? It's the Phantom of the Opera with that organ, bro, right off the bat. You know it, Tommy.
Dude, he was incredible, and it took days for him to get something together for music. Like Vince would hit him up quickly on stuff, and he'd be working 24/7 on it. I used to walk by his excuse me, his studio all the time. Great guy, worked his rear end off. And by the way, you can't even come close to any entrance that's out there now. Whatever these guys were signed by Triple H or whoever runs music now, can't even come this close to Jim Johnson.
I swear, Tommy,
Every entrance sounds the same, dude.
Yeah, Tommy, obviously I've been watching Raw for a very long time because of my podcasting. Tommy, I swear to you, to this day, when they hit somebody's music, I have no idea who it is. I have no idea.
Sounds the same. It all sounds the same.
No idea. Here's what Jim Johnson had to say on a recent podcast. It's almost a frustration to me. The few times I'm going through the cable stations and I land on one of those programs and just everything seems, I'm just shaking my head. Like, what does this music have to do with anything? We've gone from a time when you could be cooking in the kitchen and the TV's 2 rooms away and you could tell who's coming out to the ring, and now it's just noise. My God, I don't think he could have said it any better, Tommy.
Great line at the end. That means when the glass broke, you knew who it was. When the bong hit, you knew who it was. When you hear it now, all you hear is this loud reverberation of guitar. I don't know if it's Kevin Owens. I don't know if it's Seth Rollins. I just can't figure it out anymore.
Tommy, when I do this, I'm going to do like one note, and you're going to tell me who it is. You ready? We're going to play a little game, Tommy. One note, you're going to tell me who it is. You ready?
All right.
4!
That's PT.
Yeah, that's part-time coachman. But Tommy, like, how do you get rid of a guy like Jim Johnson? Bro, Tommy, it's like it's like if the Yankees tomorrow released Aaron Judge.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was some headbanging because him and Kevin were really tight, and Kevin loved Jim Johnson. Kevin Dunn loved Jim Johnson, man.
Yeah.
He loved what he did. He knew how hard he worked. So I don't know if it was a fight between, and I know Vince and Jim Johnson got along great too. I don't know if something happened there or what, but we were all shocked when it happened, man. And that he wasn't going to be around. They were going with these fly-by-night music companies and these bands that were coming in and where they would do stuff in New York, and it was just pure garbage, dude. Just garbage.
Man. Yeah, nothing's close. Okay, I think Awesome Sauce once has a little something to say. What do we got here, Awesome Sauce? Why WWE doesn't license themes? When I started watching in '84, Hogan had Eye of the Tiger. WWE used Thriller for their TV intro. Why are they so cheap? Well, listen, Awesome Sauce, I'm going to kind of go to the defense a little bit of the WWE because, Tommy, if you want to license music, it's not cheap, guys.
Yeah,
go ahead, Tommy.
Especially Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Awesome Sauce. It is not
copyright.
cheap. Yeah, and Awesome Sauce, it's copyrighted, and every time they play it, they got to pay. It's not like you pay one price and you get to use it as often as you want. Every time that song pays, and that's why a guy like Jim Johnson is so valuable because he can create all that music at a very, very less expensive price, Tommy.
Yes, and he created a lot of music people don't know, stings and everything. And we, in my department, we had guys doing the music cue sheet department where they were time out. They timed the entrance out, they timed this out, because him, Vince, and Stephanie Music, it was under Stephanie Music, would get paid for that. And obviously I worked in international, so you just count the numbers of how much money they made off of that music. Incredible.
Tommy, not to mention, bro, Tommy, remember when CDs were a thing?
Yeah.
Bro, they used to sell millions of CDs. How many volumes was there, Tom? There was like 2 new volumes a year.
Do you remember the first volume with Freddie Blassie? When the little kid was dancing, all the different theme musics. It was.
I don't remember that.
Well, it was a big commercial. That was my son back in the day.
Oh, get out of here! Seriously?
Yeah, it's serious. Yeah. and he got a gold CD out of it because it went like,
Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Yep.
Tommy, do you remember the first WWE, the wrestling album? Remember that?
Yes. Yes, I
Tommy,
do.
let me tell you, Tommy, I am a vinyl guy. I have 4,500 albums, Tommy.
Wow.
That first album, not Pile Driver. Pile Driver was the second one.
Yeah.
Tommy, the wrestling album with Vince and Stan back and all that great stuff, a Jive Soul Bro with Slick. Tommy, you cannot find that album anywhere.
Really?
Nowhere, Tommy, nowhere. Yes.
Is that what Mean Gene sang Tutti Frutti too?
Yes. And what was it? Girls in Cars. I think that was the Strike Force, remember? And what did Hogan's theme was on there by Rick Derringer, right? Real American. That was on there.
Yeah.
You cannot find that anywhere, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet it's worth some money, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, man. If you got that album in mint condition, it is worth a lot of money. Guys, any last minute questions or super stickers before me and Tommy wrap this up? So, Tommy, big series this weekend, man. Big. What do you think about the Yankees? What's your assessment of the Yankees? Bro, a lot of people are telling the Yankees that get Devin Williams out of the closer role 2 games into the season. Are they at it? Bro, listen.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, no, Tommy, that's what I love about New York fans. But I don't think they realize how good of a closer Devin Williams is, Tommy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early in the season, guys.
It's April, guys.
Yeah, right.
They're playing in winter conditions in Detroit. They moved the games to the daytime because at nighttime it was going to be like 20 degrees. You can't play baseball in 20 degrees. I'm sorry.
No.
Do it, man. It was hard enough playing. So we'll see what happens. They just strike out way too much, man. It's just it drives me. Jazz Chisholm, man, strikes out. He must have struck out 4 times just today. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
They gotta come back, see what happens. San Francisco's a really good team. What? Aren't they in first place?
I think they're a half a game behind San Diego right now, but they are 9-3.
It's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be packed as always, man. And it's an old school Giants Yankees.
Oh yeah. You'd be surprised, man, because Tommy, like, when I used to go to Shea every time the Giants came in, and people don't understand with those rivalry when the New York Giants at the Polo Grounds, those people come out to Yankee Giant games. To them, it's still the Yankees and the Giants, man. People don't understand that rivalry and tradition is alive and well.
Yeah, and this is the Giants haven't been to Yankee Stadium ever. I don't know if in the last 5 years or what. But
yeah, it was a while ago. It was probably about 5 years ago, Tommy.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, they're a lot better now, and I think it's going to be a great series. We'll just see if the Yankee pitching holds up, and they got to start hitting because they didn't hit the last 3 games. I mean, they had a 4-0 lead. They just barely won the game, and I think Detroit's a really good team, man.
They are a good team.
You have 3 top pitchers like that. You get them in the playoffs, they could do some damage, man.
Yeah. Grissom's having a nice year, huh?
Yeah. Having a good year. Yep.
Yeah. They got to keep him in the lineup while he's hot.
Yep.
All right, Tommy, where can people follow you on a daily basis, my friend?
On X and Instagram, BTT_Tommy C, and every Monday night at 11 o'clock on The Last Word with Coach and Gabby. We go over things that happened during the week. We'll go over Raw and any other thing we want to talk about. So there you go, brother.
We got a Max Steele. Thank you, Max. Is Bianca Belair getting booed because people are realizing she's boring? Max, I got to tell you, man, you got to give these performers some meat on the bone. Bianca Belair does not write the show. You've got to give her a story. You've got to give her an angle. She's another one, Tommy. I swear, Tommy, listen, man. When Bianca Belair comes out to the ring, Tommy, I swear, because I know what it takes, I can't take my eyes off of her abs.
Yeah,
she's a freak. She is a freak. And Tommy, I don't think people really understand the discipline and the commitment to have a body like that. You're talking about diet. You're talking about, working out nonstop, eating the right foods. I mean, she was an incredible collegiate athlete. Bro, you got to give her a story, man.
Yeah, you got to give her something there. And by the way, she makes her own outfits.
Yeah, she does. She's incredible, man.
Although I thought her promo Monday was pretty passionate, and she was right about what she was saying, man. I liked her promo. She could be, I got to tell you, Vince, if you come up with a great story with her, she could be a great heel.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. And here's the thing about it too, Tommy. I've seen Bianca Belair as Bianca Belair without the gimmick voice.
Yeah.
She's very intelligent.
Yes.
She's very, very smart.
Yeah.
I think the real Bianca Belair is money, but they've got her playing a little bit of a cheesy character, and I don't know. But anyway, I'm a fan of hers. I don't put that heat on her. Guys, if you want to follow me, if you want to support me, if you go to patreon.com/Russo TWC right now, you can get a free week of the brand. It will cost you absolutely nothing. Patreon.com/TWC. Guys, that is it, man. I'm glad we got to spend this time with you. Me, Tony. Maybe next time 4 will be here, but don't bet on it, bro. I know Coach is a betting guy. Bro, don't bet on the line of Coach being here at the next show, bro. He may be at Augusta. He may be at Pebble Beach. Who knows where Coach may be? But listen, man, Mr. Dependable, Tommy Carlucci, is always there. That is it, everybody. For me, Tommy, and producer man. We'll see you next time.